welcome again to another episode of the Armed Forces Television Network presents Cookin' with Sergeant Ray Rachael, featuring me, Mess Sergeant Ray Rachael, and my lovely assistant, Miss Peters, a former embedded war correspondent for Channel 6 in Wichita. Now, I know that those of you who are new in country have already figured out that your mama is not here to clean up after you, and your mama is not here to cook for you. And you're probably thinking, well, hey, that's what Sergeant Ray Rachael's going to do. Well, I'm not really here to cook for you either. But luckily, your Uncle Sam is taking care of you by providing you with these wonderful MREs. Now, I know you've heard these stand for meals rarely edible, but really, they stand for meals ready to eat. And that's kind of a lie because they're not ready to eat. If they were, you could just open up the bag, take it out, and chew on it. You got to do a little preparation for it, and that's what we're here to talk about today on this episode of Cookin' with Sergeant Ray Rachael. Now, we got all the essentials here that you're going to need to do that. First of all, we got the GB, the garbage bowl. We got a nice knife. A knife is always an important part of any kitchen. And, of course, we got your MRE. Now, today, we're going to be serving up your pork chow mein. Now, you're thinking, Chinese food. What the heck does that mean? Well, what it probably means is that somewhere, there's probably some Chinese soldier who's having steak and potatoes tonight. I do believe that the government now gets these through China, since they pretty much make about every darn thing that we consume. Now, the MREs also do come in your traditional American turkey and dressing dinners. Also, we got your meatloaf and mashed potatoes, one of my personal favorites. And for those of you who love Italian, they got some yummy spaghetti. And besides your entrees, you got the side dishes that come with it. Well, I call those sort of your snacks. We got your ever-popular toasted cracker and peanut butter. For beverages, we got such lovelies as cocoa beverage. That's what we call back in the States hot chocolate. Got your little tubes of cheese spread. And if you got a problem with rats around your barracks, spread a little of this around in the corners. It'll take care of them right away. And you can also try spreading some of the cheese spread on the wheat snack bread, but I don't recommend that unless you have a really good dental plan. And right here at the base right now, our only dentist is a reservist from South Dakota who hasn't finished his internship yet, so I'd suggest you not do anything that's going to break those teeth. And always popular is the charms. You can give these to the lovely little children around town, and they'll polish your boots once you do that, or clean your clock once they find out how bad those things taste. Okay, so let's take a look at the, I'm starting to choke up here. You know, I'm beginning to sound like that gunny on TV. Here's a little joke for you. Knock, knock. Oh, who's there? Raw. Raw who? No, it's who Raw. Open up the door, maggot. This is the gunny from TV. Yeah, never seen Miss Peters laugh. Anyway, we got the MRE here. This is from menu number 22. And these are only about 7 years old, so they still have a lot of the tastiness and nutritional value left in them. Now we look inside and we find, the first thing is a little cardboard box here, pork chow mein. And what's inside that box? A little packet here that's built out of a bulletproof material, and this has your chow mein stuff in it. Save that box. Do not throw that away. We'll stick it in the garbage bag, or the GB garbage barrel. Garbage bowl, I guess it is for now. Okay, let's look at everything else is in here. Now, normally, there we go. Normally, you'd want to use a knife to cut this thing open, but for the sake of simplicity and to move the show along, I did pre-open the bag. And it's supposed to be resealable, but who's going to save this stuff? Okay, let's set that aside. All right, here's what we're looking for. This is the meat of the matter here. And actually, it's not the meat, it's actually the heater. So this is what we're going to warm up the meals with. And this is the main meal that we're going to be warming. So what you want to do is take your MRE heater here, and it's got a little arrow and a little slit, and also instructions, in case you missed those, that basically say, hey, tear here. And when you do that, you got a bag that'll open. Now inside there is a little chemical looking thing. And I'm a little concerned, because this one does not look very good, but what the heck, we'll give it a try anyway. It looks like, who knows, I heard these are bio-waste. Anyway, you take the little meal, and you slip it inside. All right. Okay, then you have a little water there, and I'll just reach over to the side here, put a little water in there, and there's a couple lines over the bottom. On the bottom it says, do not overfill. And I can tell you this, no matter how hard you try, you are going to overfill it. So you're supposed to move that stuff around, and you play with it a little bit, and yes, it's a little soft and cushy, and you guys who've been in country a long time probably will enjoy this. Now I'm thinking here that maybe our little heater, well, it's making some noise. Maybe it's getting a little warm. Okay, yep, it's starting to warm up. So once it starts to warm up, and we want to make sure that our little pouch of food is, where is it? It's supposed to be on top of the MRE. So this is the, this is going to be the top, so we're going to fold it over like this. And we're going to take the cardboard box that we saved, we're going to slip it inside, and we're going to set it somewhere where it's going to lean at an angle, all for about 10 or 15 minutes. And we've been cooking this thing here for about 10 minutes now, and it's pretty darn hot. Now you got to be careful you don't burn your fingers on this. You take it, pull it carefully out. Ooh, ooh, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot. And we're going to reach in very carefully, extricate. Oh, a little pack. Now we don't want to. We're going to set that heat pack aside because we're going to use that to make some coffee. Yeah, that feels pretty good right there. Nice and warm and soft and cushy. Hey, Miss Peters. Okay, and we want to open this thing up here, and that's always the hard part, because no matter how you open this up, some of the food's going to spill out on it. So we're going to take the old trusty, oh, got to sharpen that K-bar. There we go, there we go. All right, let's squeeze that stuff out. We're just going to pour right here into the old GB. Oh yeah, there it goes, there it goes. And you want to squeeze, 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 so that you're sure you get all the good chunky pieces out. Yep. Yep. Now we don't like to cook in the steel pot in the modern day army because we don't have steel pots. We got those Kevlar things, you know. But you know, I like to keep an old steel pot around just to you know, occasionally boil some water in, use it as the garbage bowl, and you know, it makes a fine serving dish for the chicken chow mein. So we'll set that aside. And we got the noodles. Okay. And you want to take the noodles and just sprinkle those to taste on top. This is some sort of chemical pack that they put inside the noodles, apparently to keep them from getting soft. Look at those things. They've been fresh since 1998. All right, sprinkle those on top. That looks pretty good there. We're going to take the spoon. Actually, before I get to that, I got that hot stuff brewing there. And this is optional. You don't always get these with the MREs. This is the hot beverage bag. Fill this up with the appropriate amount of water. In this case, I'm making some instant coffee, so I've got 6 ounces of water. I'm going to seal that up, and I'm going to try to slip that back in to the bag. Okay. All right, and then we'll just roll the top of that over. Stick that inside here. Okay, there you go, down you go, down you go. All right, set that aside, and when dinner's over, we'll have some coffee. And with dinner, of course, we did get the lemon lime powder. And you know, what I discovered is that this always could do with a little bit of seasoning. And I prefer something like this. A little bit of this mixed with some fruity powder, and it reminds me of being on R&R back there on China Beach. Okay. Well, that's about it. We got our meal cooked up. For snacks, we're going to have of course, we got your peanut butter. We got your oatmeal cookie. We'll have that with our coffee, and that should be a nice little treat. And one thing I didn't point out is that each and every MRE comes with a bottle of Tabasco sauce. This has many uses, the primary one of which is no matter what the food tastes like, if you put enough Tabasco on it, you can probably eat it. And that's for you from the southern states. For you north of the Mason-Dixon line, sorry, there's no mayonnaise to season your food. And that's about it for our show today. That's all the time we have, but I do want to remind you to join me next time for Cooking with Sergeant Ray Rachael. And we're gonna sidetrack a little bit from actually preparing meals, but we're going to talk about how to take your canteen, one of the little heating kits that comes with the MREs, and the Tabasco, and make yourself an IED that's guaranteed to surprise and shock your friends when you frag your tent with it. Well, y'all have a good one, and bon appetit.